A tale of loss, love, and listening to the forgotten. When the sun sets over Ogidi, the air changes. The trees grow silent, the night birds hold their breath, and even the wind seems to slink away into the shadows. For generations, no one in the village has walked the dusty paths after the seventh gong of the bell. Not even the bravest hunter or the drunkest man dares to test the curse. They say she walks then, the woman in white. Her steps are silent, but her presence is marked by the haunting rhythm of a flute and the low throb of distant drums. Some say she is a spirit of vengeance. Others whisper that she was once human, wronged and forgotten. But whatever she is, her dance is deadly. Anyone who sees her, anyone who listened too long, disappears by dawn, leaving only footprints in the sand, facing the forest. Children of Ogidi grow up with stories of her. Their grandmothers tell them as the fire crackles, their faces half lit by orange flame. She was a bride, some say, betrayed on her wedding night. Others claim she was a dancer forbidden to perform before the gods. The truth has been swallowed by time, but the fear remains, passed down like inheritance. Every night, before darkness fully settles, families light palm oil lamps and sing short, sharp prayers to keep the spirit away. The elders sprinkle white chalk on the thresholds of their huts. And when the first notes of the flute echo faintly through the wind, every heart tightens. But in one small hut, near the village's edge, a little girl named Ifunanya listens not with fear, but with wonder. Ifunanya is 7, bright-eyed and restless, her laughter ringing through the air like a bell. She has never seen the woman in white, but she dreams of her often, dreams of a figure spinning beneath the moon, her white cloth swirling like smoke. Unlike the elders, Ifunanya feels no terror. To her, the flute's melody sounds like a lullaby calling her name. Her mother warns her never to listen too closely. She says, curiosity is how the night takes children. But Ifunanya only nods absently, eyes fixed on the forest. She feels something there, something that doesn't wish to harm, but to be heard. And sometimes, when she plays alone, the wind carries back a faint answering rhythm. One night, the rain refuses to fall, and the moon rises red over Ogidi. The air feels heavy, pressing on every roof. The elders whisper that such nights call spirits. Ifunanya cannot sleep. The flute begins, soft at first, then rising with the heartbeat of the drums. Her heart races. She creeps out of bed, feet bare against the cold earth. The sound pulls her like a thread, drawing her to the village square. The lamps flicker weakly, shadows trembling. Then she sees it. A white shape turning slowly in the moonlight, graceful as mist. The woman's face is hidden by a veil, but her movement, fluid, sorrowful, mesmerizing, holds Ifunanya still. The woman moves as though she is made of wind and grief. The flute's voice twists around her like silk. Ifunanya hides behind a tree, unable to look away,
Every sway of the woman's arms seems to tell a story of loss, betrayal, love once bright as fire.
Then the drums falter, the dancer turns, and though her face remains veiled, Ifunanya feels her gaze like a hand on her cheek. The little girl's breath catches. "You can hear me," a soft voice says, not with words, but through rhythm. "You can see me." Ifunanya steps out from hiding. The night holds its breath. The woman in white kneels, her glow dimming. "Child, why do you not fear me?" Ifunanya swallows, voice trembling. "Because your song is sad, not evil." The spirit's movement slow, as though surprised. For a long moment, neither speaks. The moon shines between them, one living, one lost. Then the spirit reaches out a hand of pale light and touches Ifunanya's forehead. "When you dance, I will be free," she says. But the drums must not stop. Before Ifunanya can answer, the world fades. When she wakes, she is home, her mother shaking her shoulder in tears. By sunrise, Ifunanya's name is on every tongue. Her mother, Amara, says she found the girl lying before the door, her feet covered in dust, her hair damp with dew. The elders gather beneath the old Iroko tree, their faces grim. She has seen the woman. No one who sees her lives. Another shakes his head. Yet the child breathes. This is not ordinary. When they question Ifunanya, she says softly, "She was sad." The villagers gasp. "Sad? Spirits know no sorrow," says the priest, Baba Oke, his eyes narrow with worry. But deep within, something unsettles him. The faint smell of white hibiscus in the morning air, the scent said to follow the spirit of the dancer. That night, the drums do not play. The entire village listens for the flute, but it does not come. The silence is heavier than sound. Baba Oke visits Amara's hut, his staff tapping the floor with each step. He carries a calabash filled with water from the sacred spring. "Child, spirits speak in riddles. Their promises bind like rope." He draws chalk symbols on her wrists, murmuring prayers to Oya, the goddess of winds and change. "Do not dance again. If she calls, do not answer." The woman in white was cast by the gods themselves. Her dance brings death, not freedom.
Ifunanya nods, but her eyes betray curiosity. She dreams again that night of a vast plain of white sand and the sound of ankle beads rustling in the wind. The woman's voice calls to her. "You promised, little one, don't let the drums fall silent." Ifunanya wakes, trembling, yet her heart beats to a rhythm she can't forget. 3 nights later, Ogidi trembles. The flute returns. It begins faintly at first, like a whisper under the wind, then grows louder until every soul in the village feels it in their chest. Amara clutches her daughter close. "Cover your ears," she cries. But Ifunanya hears something no one else does. A second melody beneath the first, gentle and pleading. Outside, the wind stirs dust into small wells. The shadows of the trees seem to sway like dancers. In the distance, a white light flickers between the palms. Ifunanya rises quietly, her feet moving of their own accord. The drums call her name. The wind hums her heartbeat. And though her mother prays, the child steps once more into the night. The woman in white awaits her at the edge of the forest. Her glow is softer now, her face half hidden beneath her veil. "You came back," she says. "You remember the rhythm?" Ifunanya nods. The woman extends her hand, and together they begin to dance. Not the haunting and sorrowful spin of old, but a slower, gentler rhythm. The ground beneath them hums with energy. As they move, ghostly shapes appear, figures in ancient Yoruba attire, watching silently. Their faces are serene, their eyes glimmering like stars. When the drums pause for breath, the woman falters, gasping as though her very form depends on the beat. Ifunanya reaches out, fear flashing in her eyes. "Don't stop," she whispers. The spirit smiles faintly. Then, "Keep dancing, child of light." At dawn, some villagers swear they saw light moving among the trees. Others claim they heard laughter, soft, musical, and not entirely human. The elders call a meeting. Baba Oke declares, the child dances with death. If she continues, the curse will return. But an old widow, Mama Ejiro, shakes her head. No, Baba, I saw her. The dancer's sorrow was feeding. The girl's steps were healing something. The village splits, those who fear the curse and those who see hope in the child. Amara pleads for peace, but the air is thick with suspicion. Meanwhile, Ifunanya sits by the stream, tracing ripples in the water. Her reflection flickers once, twice, and for a heartbeat, the woman in white scares back. That night, Ifunanya dreams deeper than ever before. She sees the woman, not as a spirit, but as she once was, a dancer named Adana, famed in Ogidi generations ago. Adana's love was forbidden. She danced for a prince who belonged to another. When their secret was discovered, she was condemned before the gods. You will dance till the world forgets your name, the priest had said. And so her spirit remained, her sorrow becoming song, her steps becoming curse.
Ifunanya wakes with tears in her eyes. She is not a monster, she whispers. She was forgotten. And for the first time, the wind carries back a sigh that sounds like gratitude. Ifunanya wakes before dawn, drawn by a faint tapping beneath her floor. She kneels, pushes aside the mat, and finds a small drum buried in the soil, its skin cracked but faintly glowing. When she touches it, warmth surges up her arm. Amara gasps when she sees it. That is Adana's drum, she whispers. It was sealed after her death to silence the curse. Baba Oke is summoned, his face darkening as he examines it. This is no toy. The drum remembers her sorrow. But Ifunanya feels something else, a pulse like a heart trying to beat again. That night, as the village sleeps, she cleans the drum, tightens its cords, and hums a tune she does not remember learning. When her fingers strike the skin, the sound is soft, yet the wind outside stirs. And far away, someone begins to sing. The next evening, the villagers hear a strange harmony, the drum and the flute playing together. Some tremble in fear, others fall to their knees in awe. Ifunanya sits on a mat drumming slowly, while the unseen flute answers from the forest. A conversation older than memory unfolds between them. A call and response of grief and forgiveness. Amara watches, torn between terror and wonder. Child, stop before it takes you, she pleads. But Ifunanya's eyes glow softly in the lamplight. Mama, she's learning to smile again. Outside, moonlight floods the village paths. For the first time in generations, the air feels lighter. But Baba Oke, standing in the shadows, senses the balance shifting. When spirits remember joy, the boundary thins. And somewhere deep within the forest, Adana begins to weep, not from sorrow, but release. Word spreads beyond Ogidi. Travelers bring offerings, hoping the girl who dances with ghosts can bless their paths. The market fills again with laughter, though whispers remain. Some say Ifunanya is blessed by Oya, goddess of the winds. Others say she is being used, that Adana's spirit grows stronger, not weaker. One afternoon, while buying yams, Ifunanya hears a voice behind her. You are not free yet. She turns to see a boy about her age, eyes dark as storm clouds. He wears a necklace of cowries that hum faintly. Who are you? She asks. He smiles, a watcher. My name is Obi. I hear the drums too. Before she can reply, the wind rises carrying a faint flute note that only they seem to hear. Their gazes lock. Two children, marked by something beyond mortal reach.
That night, Baba Oke dreams of fire. The Aroko tree burns blue, and within the flames dances Adana, her veil gone, her face peaceful but powerful. She says, the child is my mirror. If she breaks, I vanish, but if I vanish too soon, the curse will return. He wakes drenched in sweat. The curse was never about vengeance, he mutters. It was grief bound in rhythm. He visits Amara before dawn. Your daughter must not fear, but she must not give fully either, he warns. Spirits cling to warmth, they mistake love for doorway. Amara, exhausted, asks, then what should I do? Baba Oke sighs. Pray she learns to stop the drums when the time is right. When the flute returns that week, it sounds different, deeper, mournful. Ifunanya feels it in her bones. She's hurting again, she tells Obi. Together they follow the sound into the forest. Moonlight filters through the trees, painting paths of silver. In a clearing, they find Adana, half-formed, flickering like mist in candlelight. Her gown moves as if alive, breathing sorrow. Why do you return? The spirit whispers. To listen, Ifunanya says softly, to finish your song. Adana touches the child's cheek, her hand cold but not cruel. Then you must see how it began. The ground trembles, and suddenly the forest dissolves into vision of palaces, drums, betrayal, and the dance that doomed her. Ifunanya sees Adana as she once was, graceful, radiant, beloved by all of Ogidi. Her dance brought rain to the dry season, laughter to the weary. But love betrayed her. The prince she danced for chose another to appease the gods. Adana danced one last time, in grief, not joy. Her tears fell like pearls, her music turned to lament, and the earth swallowed her mid-step. The villagers built shrines, but fear replaced devotion. Over time, her meme became a warning instead of a memory. When the vision ends, Ifunanya stands trembling. She only wanted to be remembered, she whispers. Obi nods slowly. Then maybe that's how we break the curse, not by fighting it, but by finishing her story. The next morning, Ifunanya and Obi gather the villagers beneath the Aroko tree. We must dance again, she declares, not in fear, but in remembrance.
The elders protest. You will summon death. But Amara steps forward. My daughter has spoken truth before. Let us trust her once more. At dawn, they gather, men, women, and children, dressed in white. The drums beat, the flute joins, and through the golden haze of morning, Adana appears, her veil lifted, her face calm. This time, her dance is gentle, her movements slow. Ifunanya joins her, every step echoing across generations. And as they move, the air changes, the heaviness lifts. The curse trembles on the edge of breaking. The villagers watch in awe as the woman in white glows brighter with each beat. Her sorrow fades with every turn of her feet. Then she kneels before Baba Oke. You kept my name alive, she said. Forgive them, they were only afraid. He bows deeply. Go in peace, daughter of Ogidi. Adana turns to Ifunanya. You listened when others ran. Because of you, I remember who I was. A final gust of wind sweeps through the square. Petals rain from nowhere, and when the light fades, she is gone. Only the flute remains, lying at Ifunanya's feet. Days pass, the nights grow quiet, the air feels lighter, as if the village itself has exhaled. But Ifunanya feels empty. She's gone, she tells Obi one evening by the stream. I should be happy, but I feel like a part of me vanished too. Obi nods. When you touch the spirit world, it leaves a mark. He hands her a small carving of a dancer. Keep this, so you don't forget the rhythm that healed her. Ifunanya smiles faintly. The wind rustles nearby, soft and warm, like a hand brushing her cheek. That month, for the first time in years, rain falls gently on Ogidi. The fields bloom again, the streams swell, and laughter returns. Children play outside after dusk, the curse has lifted, and the elders declare a new festival, Ojo Adana, the Day of Remembrance.
Ifunanya, the first tense, her feet steady, her spirit calm. The flute plays by itself, its melody pure and joyful. The people no longer fear the night. They say when the wind hums, it's Adana reminding them dance before sorrow turns to silence. Years later, Ifunanya grows into a young woman. She becomes the keeper of Adana's flute, guardian of balance between the living and the remembered. Whenever fear threatens the village, she plays softly, reminding them that love, not fear, tames the unseen. Children gather to hear her stories, how a woman cursed by grief found peace through a child's courage. She never calls it legend, she calls it truth wrapped in rhythm. And when the moon rises full, she still dances at the forest's edge where wind and memory meet. Obi becomes the new priest of Ogidi, wise beyond his years. Together, he and Ifunanya ensure that no song or story is forgotten. The villagers rebuild Adana's shrine, not as a warning, but a celebration of art and healing. One evening, during the festival, Ifunanya notices the wind dancing in familiar patterns. She smiles knowingly. "You're still here," she whispers. Somewhere beyond sight, a voice answers, "Always, when the drums remember." Generations later, mothers still tell their children, "When you hear the flute at dusk, do not run. Listen, dance, remember." They say the woman in white still watches, no longer weeping but smiling, her steps guiding the rhythm of Ogidi's heart. And sometimes, when the evening wind carries both drum and flute, villagers swear they see her and the child dancing together, shadow and light twined in eternal grace. Because some stories do not end, they only change their rhythm.